It was late at night and Tanaka went back into the raccoon residence. When he got there, he was greeted by all the raccoons who were seen waiting for him with distraught and furious expressions, while Toneri, who had been waiting for Tanaka to come, was smirked. "Tanaka, how dare you make friends with humans?" Huta snarled, which made Tanaka surprised. "So, you're in the enemy's part? This all must not be right, Tanaka." Shuko asked Tanaka with a disappointed look. Everyone was waiting for Tanaka's answer, while Tanaka just looked lazily at them and said, "If so, what's the problem? None of humans have a dirty hair." Everyone was surprised by Tanaka's statement, then started insulting Tanaka until the voice of Kaicho made all of the raccoons go silent. Kaicho asked about what happening, and Tori, with his high pitch, told Kaicho that Tanaka on the side of the human. One by one of raccoons started demanding Kaicho to kick Tanaka from the raccoon village. Tanaka got irritated and decided to leave from there. Shun, now at his bed, ready to sleep with his grandma, sat beside his bed, asking many questions. Finally, the old woman gave him a goodnight kiss and left the kid with the dark room and blue light from night lamp. Shun, about to close his eyes until a knock from the window beside his bed, made Shun wake up and look out the window. He saw the figure of Tanaka with his flat expression knocking on Shun's window slowly. "Tanaka-san? Why is Tanaka-san here?" Shun got up and opened the window. "Visiting you, kiddo. Why asking?" Tanaka said as he jumped and slept into Shun's floor room. "Eh? Isn't it time for you to sleep, Tanaka-san?" "So what? Come on, kid. If you want to sleep, then sleep. I'll take care of you tonight," he said, ending the conversation. Shun was very happy. "Wow, thanks, Tanaka-san. Do you need a blanket? Pillow?" The sound of a small snore made Shun chuckle and slightly and lie down. "Sleep tight, Tanaka-san." Shun began to enter his dreamland. Usually in the morning, Shun's grandmother would wake him up with a sound and gentle pet and a soothing voice. But it's different now. Shun was greeted by the hysterical scream from his grandmother, holding the broom handle and shaking violently. Shun was surprised, but after he remembered what happened last night, he panicked and looked at the floor, looking for Tanaka-san, who was hiding under his bed. Shun's grandmother kept screaming, while Shun tried to convince her that Tanaka-san was a good raccoon. His grandmother began to calm down after hearing Shun's word. Seeing the woman had calmed down, Tanaka tried to get out from under Shun's bed. "You better listen this innocent and holy boy, ya old granny," Tanaka said as he rolled his eyes. Shun's grandma got another shock, trembling while pointing at Tanaka. The raccoon." Before she finished her words, her eyes got blurry and she fainted. After a long conversation, the grandmother agreed to keep Tanaka as a pet, even though she's still a bit surprised about Tanaka who could talk. And here was Tanaka, sleeping on Shun's lap with his small hand stroking Tanaka's back, watching television together in the living room. That was a peaceful morning until one reporter said that Japanese government has decided to create a new settlement at Maruyama village, specifically at the Maruyama forest. Tanaka surprised and woke from his tidy sleep. "Maruyama? Hey Granny, how many forests in this area?" he asked the old woman. "Only one, beside this house." "You must be joking. Why should an old woman like me joking? This can't happen. You can find the solution, right?" The grandmother just looked at the raccoon with her sad eyes and said that she can't do that because the Japanese government power. Tanaka is quite disappointed about this. So Shun asked his grandma maybe something that can help Tanaka and their family. But the old woman only shook her head while stroking Shun's hair. Suddenly, Tanaka jumped from Shun's lap and ran outside. Shun followed him and shouted where he was going to. Tanaka only looked at him and said, "My family is still there. I must save my family." Then he entered the bushes, leaving the little kid and his grandma. Tanaka ran rapidly, passing the bushes, and came out at the village startled storm raccoons. "Tanaka, what are you doing here?" asked one raccoon named Haru. "Let me meet Kaicho," he said, running toward the Kaicho's residence. But his path was blocked by two raccoons who looked at him sarcastically and said, "The Kaicho is sick. He can't be visited. You better." Tanaka dodged the two raccoons and continued to run like a wolf. Arrived at there, Kaicho Singh was lying weakly on the bed with several raccoons surrounding him. "Kaicho!" Tanaka shouted, attracting the attention of all the raccoons. "Tanaka, don't yell please. Kaicho is not at a good condition for now," Shoko said, the male raccoon in front of him. Kaicho stood up with the help of several raccoons, approached Tanaka and asked what caused Tanaka panic like this. "Kaicho, you all better get out of here," he started, making one of the raccoons come up to him with an angry expression. Toneri started debating with Tanaka about this. Tanaka explained everything he heard earlier, but Toneri with his cynical gaze looked at Tanaka. "Why suddenly you care so much about us? You're already on the side of humans." Tanaka became irritated at the words of the raccoon in front of him. "I repeat once again, not all the human is evil. Change your mind that looks at everything from one point of view," he answered with great emphasis. Toneri just rolled his eyes at Tanaka's words and said back, "Jeez, whatever. A human is evil. You better go now." Tanaka just saw towards Toneri with cynical look, walked back to Shun's house. He coming out the bushes, seeing Shun sat on the ground waiting for Tanaka. The raccoon walked to the little boy and pat him on the shoulder, causing Shun to turn around and throw many questions at Tanaka. Night falls and it's time for Toneri and Huta to go on patrol. Huta will be on guard first, while Toneri having a sleep. In a few minutes, Toneri will replace Huta. Right now, Huta with his heavy haze, shaping his ears from the loud snore from his partner. Unable to stand it, Huta decides to go from there. Without any reason, he arrived at a part of the forest that was full of former forests that had been cut. About 5 until 7 excavators are already lined up neatly. Also stand a small wooden house. I don't know, maybe it can call a house because it's impossible to live in. Huta approached the wooden building slowly. Reaching the edge of the door, Huta took a glance inside the building, where there were two humans discussing development plans around Moriyama. Enough with what he heard, Huta decided to get out of there and ran back to Toneri. Toneri still sleeping like a baby when he came out, so Huta shook Toneri's body quickly. Toneri, wake up!" 5 minutes, and after that, Toneri felt a hard pinch that made him scream loudly. What's your problem, huh?" "What Tanaka said is true. What should we do now?" "About what, huh? Humans will make no settlement in this forest. I've told you, another voice appeared in the conversation of the two raccoons earlier, making Huta, especially Toneri, scream in fearness. Tanaka, who appeared suddenly, just looked weirdly at his friend. Why are you screaming? Are you guys scared? What a coward! Cried Tanaka to the two raccoons. Stop talking, you idiot! Toneri was ready to fight Tanaka until Huta popped between them and said, Stop debating. What should we do now? Huta ended the fight between the raccoons and they stopped talking. We'd better tell Kaicho about this tomorrow. They nodded in unison and Tanaka returned to Shun's house, leaving Toneri and Huta. It was morning and the raccoon, including Tanaka, had already started wandering the Kaicho's residence. What should we do now, Kaicho? Kaicho tried to find ideas, but his condition really disturbing him. He shook his head and asked if someone had expressed his opinion. We have to fight them. Is it possible? Humans are much stronger than us. Besides, remember Kaicho's words to not destroy humans. How about we move out of here? And the raccoons started to come up with their ideas. Tanaka-san? A child voice startled out the raccoons. They all looked at the voice. Hi kid, what are you doing here? It's dangerous, said Tanaka, a little panicked. I think that Grandma and I can help Tanaka-san a little. Although I don't know if it worked or not, but we will do our best. She nodded at his grandma words. Kaicho come to Shun and his grandma, thank him 1,000 times. Shun's grandma smiled at him and said to Kaicho that he still need more help and Kaicho not in agreement. Hashtag #SaveRaccoons, which is now trending #1 on social media throughout Japan. This trending started from a 5-year-old boy who made most of Japanese people are touched, even the artists. This hashtag made the Japanese government delay the planning of no settlement in the Moriyama area. We did it! They cheered happily. Some even shed tears. We're really beholden for all your help, Miyamura-san. We don't know what our fate would be without your help. The old woman smiled happily. Shun sat in the garden, watching the light of the star in the sky. He was so memorized by what he saw that he didn't realize Tanaka was by his side, biting into the cloth with some fruit inside it. After arriving right beside Shun, Tanaka lightly patted the little man's back. Tanaka-san, what is this? From me. Just take it as a thank you. Haha, thanks, and you're welcome, Tanaka-san. They talked after that. 10 minutes later, Toneri with a stern expression mixed with embarrassment came up. Hey Tanaka. What, huh? Forgive me? Huh? What you trying to say? I'm sorry. Huh? I didn't hear anything, Tanaka said as he smiled evilly, causing Toneri's mad and casing Tanaka. All of this made Shun lagging hard. Maybe he'll miss his grandma's house when he's in Shibuya.